Thank you for joining us for another episode of USATF's Journey to Gold Zone podcast. I am your host, Eric Kennard, joined by the Wallace Spearman Jr. Oh, I'm actually Eric Kennard Jr. I guess I left the Jr. out.
Sammy Davis Jr. Victor
Sammy
Moan
Davis
Jr.
Jr., Victor Moan Jr., Tommy Davis. Who we have with us is no junior, but she is no stranger to being on camera. Alaysha Lele Johnson, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Get him lay. Get him lay. Get him lay. Get him.
I'm doing well,
Don't turn me
doing
up.
well. 100-meter hurdle specialist, not a stranger to the sprints or relays also. University of Oregon, you spent a little bit of time, huh?
I actually graduated.
Graduated, that is, right.
Yeah,
Graduated.
don't forget that.
I'm sorry. That's the most of kids stay in school, graduate. This portion of USATF Journey to Gold Zone is brought to you by higher education, higher learning. Go get those degrees, folks. All right, so 12:30 all conditions in the 100-meter hurdles, 12:35 legal. Been around a little bit.
You know, I've been around the block.
Been around the block a
I'm
little
an
bit.
old head.
Third place, Pan American. I like how she put the to the side.
27?
27 years
I feel
old.
like the
Thomas.
rookie in a vet.
That's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with feeling like that. So, Pan Am game this past fall is some. Does that kind of is that fall
First of all, it
into
was,
summertime or when is that?
It was off season. That's what it was.
It was off season.
It was off season. It was off the couch, and it was in the cold in the rain. Don't forget that.
Weren't y'all both down there?
We were both down there. It was in the cold and the rain. I can attest to that. And she.
Only on my race though. Everybody else it was like sunny.
Which
sunshine.
race though? I heard you did more than one.
You know, I popped it off in that 4x1.
Ooh.
She did pop it off in that 4x1.
I
And
did
she.
the job.
How dare her call me another black man's name too while I was over there, but I ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Who she called you?
Who did I call you? I never did that before.
Oren? Kobe?
Chris.
Oh.
Chris.
Chris Quinton?
All I knew is I saw the names of the staff,
Uh-huh.
and I never
Ask
put
me
the
if
name.
he was in Chile. In
He
Santiago.
was.
He was in Santiago.
Chris,
He was in
the one
Santiago.
that got the
No.
Okay.
Anyway,
I was so appalled.
I
You
actually
ain't
don't even know
appalled.
Christopher.
my man, this is the guy I love to see. When this guy shows up to do these interviews, anything could happen. I'm telling you right now.
You like this version.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I'm about to be quiet to death. I'm not talking this because I want to see every bit of this personality.
Here you go. So, you ain't even talking
I'm
to me, but you should not be nervous because I got some questions for you. So last year we had a conversation on the bus in Bermuda, headed to the track. You had a different perspective on sport then than you may have now. You are one who has been very vocal about how she feels about the current state of sports, and and also how you feel about the politics of sport, or things of that nature. So recently, I saw a series of tweets from you, Twitter fingers. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Yeah,
She a thumb thug.
No, let's get into it.
Talking
though.
about saying you need a burner account.
I do.
and, you really holding back. It was a few shots fired, but they must have been warning shots. So, you feel some sort of dissatisfaction with your season as it relates to meets you're allowed to compete in?
No,
Do you feel like you're being
specifically-
looked over, or were you speaking specifically to meets on islands?
specifically to Jamaica and specifically to Jamaica racers.
Why is that?
Last year I
never-
tried to get into the meet and I was waitlisted. And y'all saw the people that were in the meet. I definitely deserved a spot there then. And once the start list came out, I definitely deserve a spot now.
Right,
So,
spot.
I just feel like if you want the race to be good, let the good people in.
So let's talk about your career. I'm about to say, you've made world championship teams. Like, you've been on the biggest stages anywhere and everywhere. Me personally, I feel like you are still fighting for the respect, not just in this racist event, but in the sport as a whole. So talk to us about that journey. I think there's something to be said about every story that's being told. You have some details that, maybe could help some either young athletes coming up or some agents or coaches. Just walk us through that. What, from your perspective, what is it like to be in this sport?
Yeah, I guess I'm the black sheep. I'm the I'm the evil one in the situation.
I don't think
You
that's
know?
true. I don't think that's true.
It-
But I do think you wear that well, though. You
So,
welcome it a little bit
It's
now.
just like Angel Reese. Like, everybody made her the demon, the devil. And then when she started embracing that, it was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they put that on me because they wanted me to kind of bow down. And they wanted me to show that I didn't, no, I want to be welcome. No, I want to be a part of this. no, they wanted me to beg for it. And I was like, no, I'd rather be the demon.
Do you feel like the biggest barrier you face is not, obviously a hurdle on the track, but people's perception or misconception of who you are?
I don't feel like it's the biggest barrier. I feel like it's the most annoying. I feel like that, yes, I could be way further in my career had I been allocated the resources or the respect or the help beforehand. I would be everything that everyone thinks I should be already. But I'm not that. And every time I step on the track, I am, in reality, 10 steps behind everybody else.
Yeah. Was the setback that you feel you faced based on, people's belief in your abilities at the 2022 Outdoor World Championship?
No.
Do you feel like it came before that? You feel like
It came the moment that I started back running. It came from me not being the norm, me being older when I came back to run, starting being a professional after being off for 2 years, doing things outside the box, my coach being a NFL and NBA coach and not being a track coach. Yeah, so it came from me being unconventional and me breaking barriers that people felt like, hold on, we put these barriers in place for a reason, to help certain people win, to help the sport go a certain way, to keep the poor and feed the rich. And we didn't come here for this. So that's where it started. It started the moment I got on that track and the moment I beat Jasmine in Puerto Rico. That was when it started. And that is quite honestly what led to what happened at World Championships. There's no way I should have stepped on World Championship stage without having a sponsorship, and that's just what it is.
I'm about to say, and you just touched on one thing as well. So for the people who are listening who don't know you, you spoke about your coach and how that relationship is unconventional, or, just in general. So he coaches football players, I spoke to you recently, NBA players, and I think last year we had a conversation where you said you might actually entertain some other track and field athletes coming to train with you.
Yeah.
But at the time you were the only one, so could you talk about that as well?
Yeah, so we actually did bring somebody on. We brought Michael Dixon on, who's actually having an amazing season, but it made sense. I knew Morgan, or Mo Wells as everybody else knows him. I knew him from college. He used to run track in college at LSU. He used to run the 400 hurdles. And it just became a relationship that I could trust, that I've seen him with athletes. I've seen the relationships that he has with athletes. And being the situations that I went through in college here at the University of Oregon, I didn't want to deal with a coach that didn't understand me as a person first and an athlete second. So when I went to him, it made sense. Also, it was free. It had every resource that you could ever think of. It's free because I'm on the P&L. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's free in the sense that I'm not paying him, but it's also, it's coming off of his budget for his program. But in a sense, the football players are paying for me. The NBA players are paying for me. And I have every resource in the book. There's no way that I would ever be hurt. There's no way that I would ever be in a mental space that I can't be dug from. We have every resource that you could ever have. And that's very important when you're a professional and you don't want to stay in a collegiate system. How do you go somewhere with resources? There's nowhere else with resources that like us. So when people are like, oh, she's running fast, what are they doing? Well, baby, I'm healthy. I'm healthy. I have an endocrinologist in the building. Because a lot of people don't know I have hypothyroidism. I was diagnosed at Oregon. It's been something I've dealt with since then, and I will deal with for the rest of my life. And when my thyroid is off, I'm off. You can't feel it. It's not tangible. So it's something that has to be monitored month round. And it's expensive. It's expensive for a specialist. Like, so coming from where I come from, Section 8.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Financial aid, like,
Pell Grant.
It's expensive. It's expensive. So going somewhere where I'm well taken care of, you don't have a reason not to run fast. Except for the fact that, I might not have no training partners, or I might not have opportunities, or somebody still has to pay the rent and the other bills. Other than that, everything is well taken care of on the track side.
And so how does that affect you from a preparation standpoint? Like, obviously you have an abundance of resources that maybe other track and field athletes don't have access to. But as you just stated, you also don't have access to an environment that is, conducive, or, that is fully kind of being, cultivated for elite athletics as it relates to track and field athletes? Your environment is, so do you train on the track? Like, what does that access look like? And then obviously you've stated you don't have training partners. So do you feel like maybe those things could play a part in your preparation or your success or lack thereof? Or do you feel like you do a pretty good job just focusing on your lane, focusing on your own training, and you just kind of let the races and the hurdles come up as they do?
I think it's always a double-edged sword. The grass could always be greener, obviously. Having a training partner is major. That's a plus, as long as everybody's healthy and y'all actually get to train together. I think the only thing for me and my coach was just the part of not knowing, just the unknown. So when we travel, when I'm going overseas for the first time and I'm trying to explain to him, the flight was 17 hours, I ain't slept, I ain't ate. Like, he doesn't understand from a coaching perspective fully how it feels until he does it.
Right.
So it really wasn't until I brought him to Switzerland that he kind of understood, like, oh, yeah.
And he got to experience
that he got to experience. So I think the more we experience together as a unit, the more we can understand. And I think the training partner thing really came into play once I started running certain speeds.
Yeah.
So we weren't really worried about that at first, because the goal was always to have 3 years. The first year, my goal was only to get back to where I had been before I stopped running, which was 12.6. And I opened up with 12.5. We did not expect that. That was not in the books. That wasn't in the cards. And so we didn't even train on the track that whole first year. When I ran my first hurdle race, that was my first time running over 10 hurdles. Mm-hmm. We didn't even do that at practice. So it was like a lot of things that we kind of took slow because we were just trying to make sure I was healthy, I was fast enough. Then going down the line, I added in Marlon Odom, hurdle science. Y'all might know him, because it was like I was running too fast for my hurdles. Like, it's easier to hurdle fast when you're not that fast. Mm-hmm. It's easier.
What?
Yeah, that's
that math ain't math.
Think about it. Okay, think about it.
Rhythm thing, man.
You know, I used to race cars.
Okay.
It's easier
So you used to race what?
I used to race cars.
Okay.
It's easier to take a turn, to navigate a turn in a race going 40, 50 in your car. If you're going 40, 50 miles per hour in your car, you could take a turn. You might not even hit the brakes. You could take that turn. Imagine taking that same turn going 150. You hitting them brakes, you holding on, you gearing down, you focus more in. That's how it is hurdling. Yeah. It's a little easier to navigate the hurdles when you're going slower. Not slow. You know what I'm saying? You're
controlled aggression.
When you're going controlled. Yeah. But when you have a certain level of untapped speed, and my speed is always almost untapped because I don't have a training partner. I can only go so fast at practice by myself. My speeds are almost always untapped. So sometimes when I'm at a race and I'm too ready to run fast, it's uncontrollable. It's hard.
What about Grant Holloway? Would you say he's similar? Like
absolutely,
with the
but similar
aspect?
In a different way, because he's tall. And I think his height helps him a lot at the beginning of his race and hinders him a lot at the end of his race.
That makes sense.
I don't have that issue because I'm small. But you could see something like that with Jasmine Camacho Quinn. If she gets pressed at the end of the race, it's harder for her to control that because she only has a certain amount of space in between those hurdles at the end of the race. Mm-hmm. She can't open up. Like, she gets faster as the race progresses because just that's her natural cadence. But she can't open up. If we're going toe to toe and I'm already an inch in front of her, she can't open her stride up and gain those extra little milliseconds or those extra little grounds because she's so tall. And she never touches a hurdle because she knows she's tall. She has to pay attention to that. Me, Tonia, Marshall, Devin Charlton, we can open up. We got a lot more space. Like, we all have the same amount of space, but if I'm smaller, I have shorter legs, I can take a full range of a sprint stride in between my hurdles, and you can't. You're shuffling.
So which one's harder to navigate, a tailwind or a headwind for you? For
me, a tailwind. A headwind is easier for me because I'm powerful. So my power is going to be there regardless. But a tailwind, now you're putting me in more speed, which speed is harder to navigate. So, like, I can power through a race. Speeding through a race is harder for me just because I'm already going so fast. It's hard to control.
Is it the same answer if I were to ask you Which one would you run faster, with a tailwind or a headwind?
Headwind.
Depending on the headwind, I'm assuming.
Depending on the headwind, yeah. I'm not gonna run fast in no 3.3. I'm gonna be in the back. But in a legal headwind, all of my races that I finished well this season, Miramar, I ran 8:20 in a -2. The last race in LA was a negative. Like, I can run in a headwind.
I think your PR is in the headwind, like
My
negative
PR is in the
1.4
headwind.
or something. Yeah.
At USA's with
Yeah.
Kenny, that was in a headwind. Like, anytime I have a tailwind
12:35.
behind me, it's crazy.
So sorry.
Go ahead. Well, I'm about to say, look, she got me distracted. You said you race cars, squirrel. So yeah, I want to know about this. Tell me about this racing cars thing.
Before we get
Oh,
into
go
the
ahead.
We
racing
can only
cars
talk
thing.
legal matters.
Right. Before we get into the racing cars thing, I want to touch on something because it was very interesting. Your approach. You watch film like a basketball or football player.
No.
No. You
I
just
don't.
broke down your competition.
That's
as
for
if
me
being
running
in
with
a race.
her. Yeah, that's for me running
Yeah.
with her, running beside her, getting ran down by her or running her down. It's from us being in the situation over. We race
Over
every
and
time
over
we
again.
race. The
You all
hurdlers.
do not duck. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
you
you,
don't
You know
duck
what I'm
the
saying?
hurdlers
Yeah.
are lined up every single
So
competition.
I can literally tell you every person that's in this race, besides a few of them, I can tell you exactly how they're about to run this race.
Yeah.
And I can tell you pretty much who's in the best situation to win based off of the lanes alone, based off of how we run.
Before the race.
Before
gun
the race is even going. Before the race is even going. This race is going to be on the left side of the track for sure. We're going to lead the race, and then
I don't
the
want to
right
know
side
that
of
though.
the track is going to try to run it down.
Mm.
I'm where the starters
That's
at, but I'm not a
aggravating.
starter, so I'm happy. I'm like, put me with the starters, because
So, how is it going through all those variables?
it's easy for me.
It's easy
Because when
for
I'm in
you.
a race and it's stacked, I'm not running against everybody in the race. I'm running against the person to the left of me and the person to the right of me.
Yeah.
Especially, and I learned that pretty much this year going into it because I ran myself on accident into the stands and into the field by running so slow in the first China. So basically, in lane 1 and lane 8.
Gotcha.
I always say, like, if I'm in lane 1, I'm in the field. If I'm in lane 8, they got me in the stands.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You crazy.
I ran most of my races from the outside. But I'm like, it's me against her, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, little mama, but I'm sorry I have to do this to you, but like, I gotta dead you out the blocks. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm battling with you, I know I'm battling for 4th, 5th, 6th. I can't do that. Like, I gotta be in front of you, and then I gotta just hope I'm in a position, because I can't see anybody, because the race is all the way on the other side of the track. But like in LA, I begged them, because Christina pulled out. I'm like, please put me in lane 7, like, because I was in lane 8. I'm like, please put me in lane 7. So now I'm next to Masai. So now I'm like, okay, this is a person that's gonna continuously be in the mix. She might not be blowing nobody out, but she's gonna be in the mix. She's gonna get 3, 4, 5. If I dead her out the blocks, I'm already in a position to get 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm already in a position to get one spot better than what I've been doing. So it's like, I apologize that you're even right here, baby, but I gotta do it to you because I'm next to y'all.
So how does?
Hold on, man.
Hold on, no, because we got to stay with it. You want to take? You gonna switch the gear on
And
me,
we
bro?
can come back. You're
You
right,
gonna
'cause we're
switch
talking
the
about
gear on me,
cars.
'cause you gonna
Oh
go
my
to
God.
cars. But I just want to understand.
We'll get there. I promise you. Just
All right,
bear
we're
with
gonna
Saw
let
me.
me
it
with
change
the
the
IndyCar
gear.
racing.
Yeah,
You know
come
how I
on.
get down.
I just
Let's-
want to know the
let's
fastest
switch
you've
the
ever
gear.
been in a car. I'm about to say, not even gonna be long. He can go back to any of that. That's fine.
The fastest that I ever been where I've been able to the only fastest I've ever been that I know of is when there's other people in the car, because when you're going that fast you can't look down, and that's 157.
You better than me.
I'm not looking down.
157.
And the fastest you've been in a car when you weren't driving.
Oh no, I don't ride in cars that I'm
Yeah,
not
you
driving.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I don't
did
play
in
like that.
Indianapolis.
Oh, I don't know what we did. 160,
About
maybe
160,
Yeah.
170.
You did once. What's the fastest you drove? In a
That's
car?
not. It was in Mexico one time.
I was going fast in Puerto Rico, but it wasn't for the right reason.
Fastest I going is like 130.
Mine's 200 on a motorcycle, 206 in a car.
You rode a motorcycle? 200 miles
I've
per hour?
I've rolled in the back of a motorcycle, but I'll blow the engine of the car. Don't play with me.
Oh,
If
you
it
like
got
that.
160, I'm
You like
going
that with it.
160.
I'm about to say, look, I want her to talk about it, but she's trying to be shy right now. When she came to Indianapolis, they went and did the 2-seater experience. And there was, everybody's all scared. Not this one.
Give me in a car. Let me see.
I want to go first and I want to go last. Let me double up.
And I threw up afterwards, but it was worth it.
It was worth it?
worth it.
She wanted to drive and everything.
Stomach was.
What?
We
Oh
can
my
get
God.
dolphins right there for that part. How does dolphin do the dolphin?
I don't
sound?
know. I don't know.
It's the
Y'all not finna
SpongeBob
get me.
joint,
Boy, all
Yeah,
right.
make sure you get the one off of SpongeBob,
Yeah,
please.
the good dolphin. joint. All right.
Back to E.
All right,
My
yeah,
fault.
So we're gonna get back on track. Ooh, I like that. Right on track. So, how do you, with all the adversity you faced as an athlete, that you've just explained and walked us through, what keeps you on the track?
I've been doing that my whole life. I've been in adversity my entire life, just from the places that I've grown up, the places that I've been, always from coaches not believing in me or people not believing in me, not seeing my greatness. When I grew up, I knew I was gonna be great. It didn't matter what in what. I told somebody the other day, like, I never grew up like, oh, I'm gonna be a gold medalist or I'm being an Olympian, or those are not my goals. My goals are to be the best that I could be in anything, regardless of what it is. I've always used track for resources, for networking, to be able to take me places I wouldn't have been able to go, like college, situations like that. So for me, I always say, you're gonna have to use the dolphin for this one. I always say I'm a bad athlete right after. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Like,
Get it sexy with the red hair. Get it sexy.
you know what I'm saying? Because when I was on Twitter, and the lady, I was going back and forth with this lady about Jamaica, and she was like, she added Usain Bolt. I did add Usain Bolt. She said she added Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt don't know who she is, and I'm like, so Usain Bolt don't know a baddie when he see one? He know. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, my looks, my personality has gotten me a lot further than my athletic talents probably could ever get me. It's gotten me in rooms where my athletic talents have been able to back me up. But I'm so talented in so many different realms. It's like, you can't come for somebody who knows exactly who they are. You know what I'm saying?
This feels very Ricky Bobby-esque right now. I feel like Talladega Nights. I know you like the race.
I feel like MJ.
Yeah,
Didn't you go viral last year for being baddie at the Miramar meet? Didn't you?
You know what?
What
and
happened?
I made 6 figures from being cute. 6 figures in 6 months from being cute.
And what
Talk
happened?
about it.
That's just what it was.
You were on like they were recording you warming up or getting the box or
Yeah, that
something,
was
huh?
one of my homeboys I went to school with. Shout out to Spencer. We actually went to University of Oregon together. He used to run. And so just from being cool with people, knowing people like, oh, I'm gonna take some pictures of you. Your outfit is dope. I had made a custom Savage Fenty outfit just because I like the patterns and stuff like that. Went out there, did the same thing I always do. Mind my business. I'm running a 100, so nobody shouldn't even be paying attention to me because I got dead last.
Bull crap, because you was out there talking before the race. I was
was.
there. I remember.
Cash
I'm
money.
finna roll y'all up.
She had them scared, boy.
Hey, they was shaking in their boots, and I really had them good for 80. But I started looking around. I'm like, oh, I'm in front.
Hey, your check engine light came
Yeah.
on, huh?
And so he just, he took a nice little video of me. It probably was not even 15 seconds. I posted it like I always post everything, anything that I look cute in. Doesn't matter, athletic, unathletic. And I woke up and it was viral.
Pandemonium.
It was crazy. Like, I had to tell my family, like, don't even look at the comments.
Oh,
My
it
brothers were
getting-
sick.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was
they
one
were
of
crying and
those.
throwing up. I'm like, don't even, and it went viral on every platform. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, didn't matter. Every single platform. And I'm like,
I'm here for it.
you think I would have got that exposure if I would have ran 12.3? No, because I did that before and it didn't go nowhere. It stayed in the track and field community. In the track and field community ain't gonna make you no money for real.
She out here preaching. You might not want to hear it.
You might not want to hear it, but I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not negative. I'm a very positive person, but at the end of the day, I'm a realist. And I know at the end of the day, sex sells. And it's not even like I was going out there being provocative.
Right.
I was going out there and I just put my best foot forward. They always ask, why do you do your hair? Why do you do your makeup? Why does all that matter? Because do you go to work and do you roll out of bed and go to work? Do you think your boss is going to care if you come to work and you stink and you ain't got the proper attire on?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't roll out of nowhere.
Okay. I was always taught, my mama didn't even take me to Walmart if I didn't do my hair
Yeah.
when I was young. And she always used to tell me, you might get first, you might get last. You can't control that, but you can control how you look. And even if you at the end of the race, somebody watching you.
Man, you're going to be look at here, a great coach or an auntie or a parent or whatever you decide to be.
Single
TT
traveling
Lane.
auntie.
There you go.
Oh,
That's
you
it.
gonna be the rich auntie?
Yeah,
huh?
that's
You
it.
doing
I ain't gonna be
no
no coach though.
And speaking of genuine as well, I'm about to say one thing that you and I have touched on throughout your career was that you wanted to be a household name.
Yeah.
And I always brag on you you came to do an event for some kids in Indianapolis, and it was a paid event, but you didn't know that you were being paid.
They didn't send that in the email.
You showed up anyway, huh?
I was like, we get to go for the kids. We get to go to Indianapolis. We get to go to the
You
museum.
hear that? Layla the kid.
What?
Especially when you could give them back to their mamas and daddies.
And you got to beat them up playing dodgeball.
We had a ball. Like, I had a ball. It was a 10 out of 10 experience. Was sad that they didn't pick me for the next year. They're like, girl, we got to give somebody else an opportunity.
Got to hang out with Aries Merritt, the world record holder.
Yeah, he was super dope. He was on me, though, about that world race. But I'm like, Aries, you going to pay the bills? Okay, if you're not going to pay the bills, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, but E, she came to this event, and I looked at her, and I was like, you get paid. She's like, we get paid? I was like, how do you? It wasn't in the email. Okay, so why did you come? And she said, I'll never forget. She's like, look, I told myself I want to be a household name, so I have to go to these places where these people are so I can engage with them. Then I come in a track meet, so I'm going to go to them. So I came, and I was like, you know what? You all right with me. Yeah. So ever since then, or maybe even indoors, and what was that, Belgrade? I was like, that's my track sister. That's my little sister right there. So I always look out. So yeah, we'll touch briefly on the sponsorship situation. I think you've reached out to some people, and then you recently went on a tour. So tell us about that if you don't mind.
So I went.
Stunner Shades.
Stunner Shades is crazy, but yeah, I think the last hurdler that they had was Lolo Jones. She's a household name, right? Mm-hmm. So when they came to me, it's, hey, it is what it is. I put the glasses on. I'm focused. I'm focused down.
Who was that?
Oakley. Oakley. Oh, I should have had the shades on right now. I'm playing.
This portion of USATF's Journey to Gold Zone podcast is brought to you by Alaysha Johnson, 100-meter hurdler, and Oakley.
4x1 specialist in the 100-meter dash.
Period.
Connoisseur.
Manifested. I will be running the 100 next year.
I don't doubt it at all.
Oakley Vision.
Wait, who did you reach out to? Sponsorship? You say you was like...
okay. So you know how I said I was going to add Usain Bolt? Come get me. Well, I actually did at Shaq because when I was in China, I wore a full Reebok outfit. It was full gold. It was super dope. Mm-hmm. And they actually got a video of me. I don't even know why they were taking a video of me because whatever. But the video came out super dope. They tagged me and everything. I added Shaq at Reebok. I DM'd him. I'm like, hey, it's going double platinum in China. Come get me. Like, they need me, bruh. I'm the Angel Reese of the track and field.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Y'all need another baddie on the you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got me. Bro, y'all have a special relationship with track and field because of Aries Merritt. Like, I'm up next. Yeah. He DM'd me immediately. Let's talk business. Send me the email. Send me the number. Such gonna hit you up. And so we've been in conversations with that. So now I'm putting him on the spot. Come get me.
You got to ask him, too, about that Shaq versus he did where he ran a 4x1.
Because you know what? I think, do we want to see him over the hurdles or Shaq flat? What we want to see?
Wait, what? See Shaq?
Over hurdles?
No, man, nah.
I think he could do a little mini hurdle.
He don't even have, I mean, he could just step over it.
Big Aristotle, stay away from the hurdles, dog. Stay away from the hurdles. We ain't gonna do the hurdles.
Go ahead and hit it with the hot take, man. Go ahead and hit it with
like that. Ain't gonna do like that with the hurdles. But I would love to see that. I definitely would love to see that. I think that that would be big time, especially if they revitalizing that brand, right? They're trying to bring the Reebok back to life. I would love to see that, and especially if you're planning on being around for 28.
Yeah,
you like how I just put you on the spot right there, huh? So
whatever, I'm gonna do whatever makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if 28 makes sense.
Or sense.
Sense.
Both of them.
Whatever makes sense and whatever makes sense. Whatever make dollars. Yeah. I'm gonna do whatever makes sense, and whatever, is in store for me, I'm ready for it and I'm with it. So wherever the wind blows me, whatever makes me happy and whatever feeds my soul, that's all I'm gonna do. So we'll see. I think after I make this Olympic team, my journey will probably look a lot different. So.
All right, I hear that. Who's Alaysha Johnson's biggest inspiration? Not limited to the sport of track and field, but if you were, after going down in the hurdle race, who gets you back up and in the blocks?
Man, that's a good one. I really just feel like it's just the community that's around me, like just everybody that's poured into me, my family, from Track Houston to just anybody who when I was younger actually like believed in me and fed into me and took care of me. it's like I'm doing it for them. So it's like I have 3 best friends, and all of their family is like my family. Their moms are like my surrogate moms. Like they've taken care of me since I was 7 years old. And like I said, Track Houston, that was my family for a long, long, long time. So when I didn't have nobody, or when I didn't even have myself, I didn't have my real family, whatever, they were there for me. And then also, you know, my brothers and my mom, like, you know, if I was stuck in Germany, my mom would come get me right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And my coaches, obviously, like, they're the ones who, it's on them the most. Like, they're my coaches, they're my therapists, they're my relationship connoisseur, they're everything. So I just think it's the community. It's the community. Like, you never get up for one person. You get up because it's a lot of people depending on you and a lot of people believing in you.
Yeah. Okay.
You ready for it, E?
I'm ready.
We're going to do something a little different today, too. So we're going to start off with a little lightning round where we get to know athletes and just ask some questions. But then I'm going to play a game with you. You ready? It's going to be called, it's like on Wild 'N Out, Plead the Fifth. Eric and I are going to ask 5 questions, see if we can either get you to answer or plead the fifth.
Okay. I was just watching Wild 'N Out the other day.
All right.
Matter of fact, come get me, Nick Canyon.
There you go.
Nick Cannon, come get it. All right, you start.
First one, you ready? Name an athlete in track and field that whenever you get to the line, you're telling yourself, this person will not beat me today. Or you can plead the fifth, whatever you like.
I plead the fifth.
Oh, on the first question?
What?
On the first question?
First one.
Y'all, me,
Ooh,
look.
who is this
The
person?
Not choosing no violence today, huh?
First of all, it's me against all of them. Me against one through how many ever people's on the line. That's what it is. And also, it's really just me against the hurdles. So honestly, the answer will be the hurdles. Y'all not beating me today.
Okay.
Nobody ever really beats me. I beat myself.
So you
I
retract
like
you retract
You know
your
what
pleading
I'm
the
saying?
fifth, and that's just
Yeah, it's the hurdles. Me and
I
the
like
the hurdlers, we're girls, okay? We're girls. I love them down.
Can I just say one thing? The fact that you said plead the fifth at first means you had somebody in mind. You just don't want to say it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I know there's somebody I can say I feel
Don't
that
do it.
I feel
Don't
like
do it.
they feel that way against me.
Okay, I will go for it then. Let's see.
I'm gonna go for Kenny. I feel like Kenny brings a special for me every single time I step up there. Like, girl, it doesn't matter if she hasn't ran nothing all season. She's like, lay on the line, I'm finna tear her ass up. I'm like, oh my God, let me win something. I have not beat Kenny my whole career.
You want to go? You want
I
to
have
go?
a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So who be sending you all? You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about these.
Hold on, I want to see too.
These arrangements. I'm a flower guy myself,
Ooh,
so I know the flower budget is crazy over here. Now I ain't saying you spending it.
You gonna plead
But
the fifth on that one?
We reaching upside to about $1,500 to
Should you-
$2,000 in flowers.
You want to show the
We
camera?
got a lot of different arrangements that pop off, man. You know, a lot of different stuff going. You know, so I just want to know where the bouquet budget is coming
You know
from.
what?
Yeah, where is the boo?
The bouquet budget coming from.
And K means what in Spanish? So
You know what they say? Post up the bag, but don't post the spender.
so you plead the fifth.
I'm pleading the
please.
fifth. Come on.
Welcome to the first version of I plead the fifth.
Mess with me, don't mess without me.
Okay, then.
Listen, I think that's a good segue to get out of here. Mess with her, don't mess without her. Alaysha Johnson, thank you for joining us. We definitely appreciate your energy, positivity, and look forward to you being on this team in Paris.
Of course. Thank you for having me.